Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Made it through another week in Babylon, another 7 days. Give all praises, our honor, our glory to the Most High, Yahweh, in the name of His Son, Yahawashi. And today I want to have a very, very, very important lesson. We whether they believe it or not, I don't think there exists this thing of non-messianic Israelites, right? Now the distinction comes in, we all believe in the Messiah. We all have the Bible, right? We all have the same Bible. We all read the same scripts. We all see the same scripts. So everyone who believes in the Bible, whether you're Christian, even Muslims, Israelites, believe in a Messiah figure, right? The big discrepancy and issue with us all is in who this Messiah is, right? For the so-called non-messianic brothers, they don't believe Yahawashi was the Messiah. You see all kinds of blasphemy and slander people say about Yahawashi Tawada, right? And they speak blasphemous against Christ. They speak blasphemous against Yahawashi. So what I want to do is for tonight's lesson is just go through a few prophecies, right? And to show the significance of Christ. Because a Christian wouldn't even be able to explain the significance of Christ, right? They believe on Christ, or so they say, but they don't know why. If you don't read the Old Testament and you just start reading the New Testament, you kind of lose the importance on why this figure was meant to come and what he represents and what he's supposed to be. And that's where they can come up with all these different things about Christ is for the world, because they don't pay attention to the Old Testament. So for this class, right, we're going to go into a lot of prophecy, right? Zach, I want you to get first for me, though, on 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 15. And we're going to go through a few scriptures to explain Christ and his importance. Bring it out when you got it.
Read out the book of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 15. But sanctify the outer one most high power in your hearts, and be ready always to give an answer to every man that asks you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. So
the question is, why is it that we uphold Yahawashi, Hamashiach Yahawashi, as the Messiah, as Hamashiach, right? And it says that we always got to be ready to give an answer, right? So that's the question that we're going to put on the table tonight. Yahawashi, right? Why is he the Messiah? All right? So let's go to Romans chapter 10, verse 13. We're going to be all over the scripts tonight.
The book of Romans chapter 10, you said verse 13?
Con.
Verse 13. For whosoever shall call upon the name of the outer one shall be saved.
So you have to be able to call on Hamashiach Yahawashi. This is a very important thing. We have to call on the name of Yahawashi. Go on.
How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed?
So if you don't believe in Yahawashi, how you going to call on him, right? And this is even to the Christians. How you say you believe on Christ, but you don't even know why you believe on Christ. Go on. You can't actually believe on him if you don't know the significance of him. Go on.
And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? Mm-hmm. And how shall they hear without a preacher?
So it says, how can they believe on him on who they haven't heard? How can you believe on Christ if you don't even know what he came for, what he stands for, right? And how can you know him unless somebody come out and teach him. So this is what I'm doing tonight. We're teaching Christ. We're teaching the significance and the importance of Yahawashi in prophecy and him coming to fulfill those prophecies. Go on.
And how shall they preach except they be sent?
Go on.
As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things.
So, you know, we have to teach Christ. We have to let understanding be understood, right? So now let's get Luke chapter 24, verse 44.
(24:44).
Con.
Yes, sir. All right. We're at the book of Luke, chapter 24, verse 44. And he said unto them, these are the words which I, Yahawashi, spake unto you, while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled.
No, some things must be fulfilled.
That all things must be fulfilled.
Go on.
Which were written in the law of Moses.
Which was written in the law. Go on.
And in the prophets.
And in the prophets.
And in the Psalms.
And in the Psalms, right?
Concerning me.
Concerning Hamashiach Yahawashi. So let's go on Psalms chapter 40, verse 7. So we have to see Christ, right? And this is where the Salakia. And this is where the Christians fall short, right? This is where the Christians fall short, is that they don't read the laws, the prophets, or the Psalms to understand the prophetic coming of Christ, right? That, you know, that there's this app I'm frequently in, and I like to listen to biblical conversation called Clubhouse. I have, in 2024, I have literally listened to two people claiming to be Christ having a debate with each other, right? So now, what's to stop somebody from believing them if they don't know what Christ is supposed to represent, right? And believe me, one of these guys, I don't know if you've heard of him, Judah, he has a following. And why is it he has a following? Because his followers, he teaches that he is the living word, so he can bypass that book, what's in the book. And his followers just blindly go along with it, right? Because they don't read about the prophecies pertaining to Christ. So we have to go in and read the prophecies of Christ. And then we have to, you know, call it a checklist. Does he fit the profile? Does he fit the profile? And we go like that, right? Let's go to Psalms 40, verse 7.
We're in the book of Psalms, chapter 40, verse 7. Then said, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me.
The volume of the book. It is written of Hamashiach Yahawashi. This book is all about Christ, right? You got something? Let me bring it up when you got it.
We're in the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 7. Then said, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O Most High Power.
So we see again in the future. So this is a prophecy of David. He prophetically seen Yahawashi, and he said that the book is written about Yahawashi. And in Hebrews, they're saying this is about Yahawashi. They're confirming that that prophecy was about Yahawashi, right? So now let's get in the law. We're going to do this bit by bit, right? Let's go to Exodus chapter 23, verse 20.
Got the book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 20. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared.
So Yahawashi, this is going back when we was in the wilderness. You know, Yahawashi was with us then, and he's with us now. He sent, the Most High send him before us. It says, I send to keep thee in the way. You know, Yahawashi famously says, I am the way, the truth, and the light. No one can come to the Father but by me, but through me. So this angel was to keep us in the way, right? Same thing again. Says, and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. So Christ is our shepherd. He's supposed to lead us to our homeland, to the promised land. Go on.
Beware of him and obey his voice.
Beware of Christ and obey his voice. We must obey the voice of Christ, right? This is showing the importance of Christ. This is written of him in the law. We have to obey his voice. Go on.
Provoke him not.
Don't provoke him. Why?
For he will not pardon your transgressions.
So, one thing we have to realize is that it mentions an angel, right? But when did angels have the power to forgive sins? Right? Because this is talking prophetically. An angel is a messenger. Yahawashi is a messenger of the Most High, right? And he has that ability to pardon sins. As we see in John chapter, what is that, 8, with the woman that was caught in adultery in the act, right? He pardoned her. He said, where are thy accusers? He said, I don't condemn you either. Go and sin no more. So he was able to pardon her transgressions, right? Now continue.
This is for my name is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thine adversaries.
So the Most High said we have to obey Christ, do what he says, and the Most High is with us, right? So let's go to Genesis 49, verse 8.
Verse 8?
Mm-hmm.
Now the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
So this is twofold, right? This is actually the tribe of Judah and also Yahawashi, who is the chief of the tribe of Judah, right? Chief representation of it. So we see it, Judah, thou art whom thy brethren shall praise. You see this on a physical level in the world, where everybody, wants to be like Mike, like the song, want to be like Mike, tribe of Judah, right? But it says, his hand shall be in the neck of the enemies, right? This is prophetically speaking, when Yahawashi come back, he's going to be the one that take down our enemies. It says, thy father's children shall bow down before thee. This is Christ. This is all of the tribes of Israel bowing down and acknowledging Christ as the king, as our king, right? Go on.
Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He crouched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
This is us today. It says, Judah is a lion's whelp, right? From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. So, when a lion is stalking the prey, what do? They're down, right? So it's saying in this time, Judah is no longer hunting. They've gone up, right? Go on. It says, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? So who's going to get him back to pouncing, right? This is Yahawashi, right? Go on.
It says, the scepter shall not depart from Judah.
It says the scepter, this is rulership. The kingship shall not depart from Judah. Go on.
Nor a lawgiver from between his feet.
And this is the important part. So Judah, it says, a lawgiver won't come from Judah's feet. Go on.
Until Shiloh come.
So that means there is going to be a lawgiver from Judah, right? This is Christ. And we've seen it also in Exodus 23. It says that we're supposed to listen to his voice, for my name is in him. So the Most High, what Christ says, is basically the Most High's words, right? What Most High say is law. If the Most High say, go down, you go down. He said, come, you come, right? This is what it's talking about. Christ is a lawgiver from the tribe of Judah. Go on.
And unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
So this is showing Christ within the law, that he is coming. Whoever this Messiah figure is, he's going to come from the tribe of Judah, right? And he is the way. We have to listen to his voice. He's going to give laws. Go on.
Binding his foal unto the vine, and his ass coat unto the choice vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes.
So we see this is prophetic speaking of when he's coming back, washing his clothes in the blood of grapes and wine, right? Go on.
His eyes shall be red with wine.
His eyes, we see in Revelation, his eyes red, right? Go on.
And his teeth white with milk.
And milk is for the babes. His teeth is representing that he's going to feed the babes. He's going to teach us. It says as a babe, I believe it's in Psalms 133. It says, I seek thee as a babe. You know, you have to come back as a babe to get this information. Christ said, we could go, we don't have to go there, but in John 3 it says, how shall a man be born again? Shall he go back into his mother's womb? But he's talking about you have to come back as a babe, as that sincerely curiosity of a child. You have to come back like that, right? So we see that Christ is the way. We're going to have to listen to him, that he's going to be a lawgiver from the tribe of Judah. We're going to have to listen to him. Let's go to Deuteronomy 18 and 15.
Book of Deuteronomy. Chapter 18.
Verse 15.
Verse 15. The Lord Yahweh, thy most high power, will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken.
So this is Moses speaking. It says the Most High is going to raise up a prophet from among our brethren like Moses. That's a key part, right? And how is Christ like Moses? Moses was given the law. Christ was given the law from the Most High. What Moses says, we have to do. What Christ say, we have to do. That's how Christ is just like Moses. And you could hold that 1 second. Let's go to Numbers chapter 12. Hold this. We'll come right back there. Let's go to Numbers chapter 12. In verse 6.
The book of Numbers.
How is Christ also like Moses? Another
We're in
way.
the book of Numbers, chapter 12, verse 6. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Most High, the Lord Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream.
So this is how the Most High deals with the prophets, right? He says if he chooses a prophet, he's going to speak to him in a vision or in a dream. We see in Hosea, I believe it's chapter 13, the Most High says the same thing, that he spoke to our prophets through dreams, visions, and similitudes, right? So this is how the Most High deal with prophets. But let's see about Moses. Go on.
It says, my servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house.
So Moses isn't like other prophets. That's what he's saying. Moses is not like other prophets who he talked to in visions, dreams, and similitudes. Go on.
With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord Yahweh shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
So the Most High said he's going to speak with Moses mouth to mouth. This is face to face. He's not going to give him visions and similitudes. It says, and the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. So he's going to see, not the Most High, he's going to see something like the Most High. And that's, go ahead.
Other words, it's going to be like up close and personal.
Exactly. It's not going to be no, is this a dream or a vision? No, he's going to know exactly this is from the Most High. Right?
You get a direct personal phone line.
Exactly. Just like Christ.
Anytime I speak to him.
Exactly. Moses went up into the mountains 40 days and spoke to the Most High. Right? He's not like the other prophets where the angels come and go and then a vision. Like if you read first Esdras, you see Esdras went to fast for like 40 days. And then he's waiting on the angel to come. And then he had to wait another 7 days for the angel to come. Right? So we see it's not like Moses. Moses, like Ben said, he has him on call, direct connection with the Most High. Go ahead. So it says the similitude of the Most High. So the Most High is going to send something. It says, and the similitude of Yahawashi shall he behold. So he's going to see. It's not the similitude is something similar to the Most High. So I had this conversation with somebody about because Yahawashi said no man has seen God, right? And even if you read in the account in Exodus, the Most High said when he told Moses, no, he can't see him, but he's going to let his glory pass by and he could behold the back of him. Right? So this is how it is. Like he's going to see something of the Most High, but it's not the Most High. Right? He's going to see something of the Most High and he's going to speak to him, but he's not going to actually, like, this is the Most High. How could the Most High fit in this world that he made? Right? So he's going to see something of the Most High, but he has a direct connection with the Most High. Like the Most High, he doesn't, like, if you could read up like earlier in Numbers chapter 12 in this account, there was an issue where they were speaking of Moses and his Ethiopian wife. And this is why. So when Moses was questioning about how we're going to resolve this, the Most High came to him. He didn't have to wait for long. The Most High just came to him, right? And this is what he's talking about. Same thing with Christ. Same thing with Yahawashi. After he was taken up, he heard a voice out of the clouds. This is my son in whom I'm well pleased, right? Yeah. So the Most High, Christ is like Moses in that way, that he has a direct connection to the Most High. All right, so let's go back to Deuteronomy 18.
Read verse 16.
Con.
Now the book of Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
According to all that thou desirest of the Lord Yahweh thy power in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear again the voice of the Lord Yahweh my power, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not.
So this is why the Most High sent dealing with Moses like that. He said he's going to send a prophet like Moses, because when the Most High brought his glory down on the mountains and we heard the lightning and thunder, and we said, deal with Moses. And whatever Moses said, we're going to do. The Most High said, that's why he's going to send somebody else like Moses, because y'all don't want to deal with me face to face. So I'm going to send somebody else just like Moses, and that person is Christ. Go on. Let's continue.
Verse 17. And the Lord Yahweh said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken.
Mm-hmm.
I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee.
Just like Moses, he's going to raise up a prophet from among our brethren, just like Moses. Go on.
And will put my words in his mouth.
And I will put my words in his mouth. Just like Moses was given the law, the Most High said he's going to put his words in that prophet's mouth. This is how Moses and Christ are similar. Go on.
And he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
And Christ is going to speak unto us all that the Most High command him. Right? So we see this in the law. Right? That this prophetic person is coming, right? So now let's show for that. So like if you look at Amalek, right? Every other year, Amalek has this new picture they're putting up of Messiah is here, and it's always some weird old guy, right? And also for OT onlys, right? People who don't believe in Yahawashi, that Yahawashi was the prophetic person to come. There are certain scriptures that they just cannot rationalize, right? Because Yahawashi had to come in the land. So if you acknowledge that you're an Israelite, if you say, I'm an Israelite, right? How do you rationalize us being kicked out of the land and the Messiah didn't come yet, right? Now let's show it within the scriptures, right? Let's start with Micah chapter 5. There's a plethora of them to show Yahawashi had to come while we were in the land. This is very important, right?
Verse 1 or?
That's 2. We'll start at 2, but let me get there one second. Go ahead.
Is it verse 1 or 2?
Verse 2.
Read the book of Micah, chapter 5, verse 2. But thou, Bethlehem, Ephratah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth have been from of old, from everlasting.
So it says that but thou Bethlehem Ephratah, right? Though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, so he's talking about the thousands of cities and I guess towns in Judah, right? It says Bethlehem is a little town, a little place in Judah, yet out of thee, so out of Bethlehem shall come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel. The person that's supposed to be king in Israel has to come out of Bethlehem. Ain't no Bethlehems in America. You know, actually there is Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. But it's talking about in the land of Israel, right? It had to be in Bethlehem, right? So this is just one showing that Christ had to be born while we was in the land, right? Let's get another one. Let's do Daniel chapter 9.
The book of Daniel chapter 9, verse
25.
Verse 25. Know therefore and understand that from the going forth of the commandment to restore and to build Jerusalem unto the Messiah, the Prince, shall be 7 weeks.
So the Most High is telling Daniel that from the going forth of the commandment to build a city, this is from, I believe, Ahasuerus. We see in First Esdras, we see in Nehemiah and in Esdras, where Ezra, where they were commanded to go back and build the temple, right? So it's saying from that commandment until then, it's going to be 7 weeks. This is prophetic speech, right? 7 weeks is just a period of time, a prophetic period of time, right? Until the Messiah. So the Messiah had to come after the order was sent to rebuild Jerusalem. Go on.
And 62 weeks,
So this is 69 weeks. Go on.
the street shall be built again, and the wall, even in troublous times.
And we seen this, right? In Nehemiah, they were building it. It said a brick in one hand and a sword in another. Says the street shall be built, and the wall even in troublous times. Go on.
And after 62 weeks shall Messiah be cut off.
So during this same 70-week period, Yahawashi, Messiah, this is prophetic speech again, that he had to be cut off. Go on.
But not for himself.
But not for himself. Go on.
And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city.
So this is talking about two different princes, right? It calls him Messiah the prince, the first one. It says, and the people of the prince, this is the Romans this is talking about. And the people of the prince that shall come shall destroy the city. Go on.
And the sanctuary.
So they're going to destroy Jerusalem and the temple. Go on.
And the end thereof shall be with a flood. And unto the end of the wall, desolations are determined.
So this is showing that Christ is going to come, and after he's cut off, then the people of the other prince, the Romans, are going to destroy the city. This is in the Bible, right? This is in the Bible. This is showing that Christ had come before Jerusalem was destroyed, because it says that they're going to destroy not just the city and the temple, right? So we see Micah prophesies he was being born in Jerusalem. Daniel prophesied that he being born and being cut off, being killed for the people, and Jerusalem is going to be destroyed afterwards, right? So now let's go to Isaiah 28. You got one?
Yeah, and then it showed that he had to come during the time of the Roman Empire.
Khan. And if you, Salakia, and also if you read Daniel chapter 9, you get to understand that he's breaking down the images of the beast. And he said, and if you go up, it's talking about in the fourth beast. And then it's saying during the time of the fourth beast, Messiah is going to come. And they're going to be destroyed, right? So, go ahead.
And it shows how everything is linked up. He's going to come during the time of the Roman Empire, and he's coming back again
during
at the end of the
Roman Empire. Khan. The Roman Empire. Khan, exactly. And Daniel mentioned that this fourth beast had a wound, but not unto death. So it showed that the fourth beast would rise up during Christ's time. Christ would die during their time, but that fourth beast is going to rise back up again, and then Christ is going to finish off that fourth beast, right? So this is more proof of Christ being born into the land, right? So for all the Old Testament brothers who don't believe that Yahawashi is Hamashiach, then who was this person? Because whoever it is, according to Micah and according to Daniel so far, he had to have been born while we in the land. Right? Now let's get another proof. Let's get Isaiah 28. Verse 14.
In the book of Isaiah chapter 28, verse 14. Wherefore hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, ye scornful men, that rule this people which is in Jerusalem.
Nah, in America.
Which is in Jerusalem.
Which is in Jerusalem. So this is showing you a place that this is in Jerusalem. Well, when you're ready.
Sitting to go in?
Mm-hmm.
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement.
Mm-hmm.
When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, For we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
So, one thing with this is, you think about it, it says, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. If you read in the Maccabees, right? If you read in the Maccabees, we kind of invited the Romans in. We agreed to help for the Romans to help us with the Greeks. We made an agreement with them, right? We brought them in. And in the time of Yahawashi, remember they said the Romans are going to come and take our place, right? They made an agreement with it. They were happy being subject to the Romans.
We send representatives to Rome to make an allegiance with the Romans.
Exactly. Khan, in the time of the Maccabees, we had an allegiance with the Romans. And then by the time Christ came, we was comfortable under the Romans. Kind of like how we are right now. You tell a black man, America, we going to have to leave America. He can't even begin to think of his life without America, without Massa. The scriptures say nothing new under the sun. That same spirit is back again, right? We got that same kind of mentality. We had the agreement with the Romans, and we have an agreement with death, right? That's what it is. That's what the Most High call it, right? It says, when the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come on to us. We thinking we safe with Massa. For we have made lies our refuge. America has not upheld any of the treaty they made with the Native Americans. What makes you think they're going to uphold any treaty with us? Right? It's the same spirit again, right? And under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Go on, verse 16.
It says, therefore, thus said the outer one, Most High Power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone.
So the Most High said, therefore, I lay in Zion, a foundation, a stone, right? Go on.
A tried stone, a precious cornerstone.
A precious cornerstone, go on.
A sure foundation, he that believeth shall not make haste.
It says, and he that believe, he lay this stone, he says, a precious stone, a tried stone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste, right? I want to show something. Let's go to, what's this talking about, this stone, right? What's this stone? It says he lay in Zion a stone. What's this stone he's talking about? Let's go to Daniel chapter 2 and 34.
Daniel what?
Daniel chapter 2, verse 34.
Out of the book of Daniel. Chapter 2, verse 34. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces.
So this,
Roman Empire.
this is the Roman Empire. Yahawashi come in to destroy it, defeat the bottom part of it, right? Let's jump to verse 45.
He's coming to destroy the end part of the
Of the
Roman Empire.
Exactly, the
America.
bottom, exactly, of the Roman Empire, America. The clay mixed with iron, right? Verse 45.
For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands,
Go on.
and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great Most High Power have made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter.
Salakia, verse 43, Salakia. So again, we see this stone, right? But what is this? Verse 43.
Verse 43 or 2?
43.
43. Verse 43 out of Daniel 2:43. And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with merry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Okay, so this is just talking about the Roman Empire. We already see that the stone strike this part, right? Go on, verse 44.
And
So
in the day,
when the stone strikes it, go on.
and in the days of these kings shall the Most High power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
So this is Christ's kingdom, right? That stone represents Christ. So in Isaiah 28, when the Most High said he lay that stone in Zion, this is talking about Christ. He put that, he said he laid him. Picture that. He's delivering him in Zion. While we were there, Christ came while we was in the land. That's what the Most High is saying in Isaiah 28. He put that stone, that precious stone, a foundation, and he that believes shall not make haste. He put it in Zion while we were there, right? So now let's go to
Read 45 to
verse 4, Daniel 2 and 45.
Yeah, read 45. But I want to say something in 44. And it says, and in the days of these kings, meaning in the time of their kingdom, while they're still ruling,
Khan.
we're going to be able to excel in their kingdom and able to supersede them while they still have their kingdom.
Exactly,
before it finally goes down.
Khan.
All right?
Moses said he's going to set up a kingdom in the days of their kingdom.
Yeah.
And it says we're going to break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms. You know, because it's not, we're going to excel above them, right? We're going to,
know that.
yeah.
That's why they're talking about make America
Great again. Yeah.
They know what's coming.
That their kingdom ain't the kingdom that the Most High is talking about here, right? So this stone is Christ, right?
Yeah, read 45 there.
Go ahead, get 45.
Verse 45 says, for as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it brake in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great Most High power have made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain.
And it's certainly going to happen. Go on.
And the interpretation thereof sure.
And it's sure.
And it's sure. This is what it means.
It's going to come to pass.
Con.
Without a shadow of a doubt. You could put your last dollar. You could put your life in it.
And you see how Daniel was talking? And the interpretation is sure. This is definitely, your dream is real. And what I'm telling you as the interpretation of that dream is sure. Right? The Most High, that's confidence in the Most High, right? That's that faith in the Most High. Right? So let's get it again in 2nd Ezra chapter 7.
Yeah, book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse
26.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 7, verse 26. Behold, the time shall come that these tokens which I have told thee shall come to pass. And the bride shall appear, and she coming forth shall be seen, that now is withdrawn from the earth.
So this is also talking about future-wise, right? The bride coming, this is us, right? Because if you read earlier in 2nd Ezra 7, he's talking about people hating the laws of God and people basically following their own ways, right? Well, let's go ahead.
Verse 27. And whomsoever is delivered from the foresaid evils shall see my wonders.
Okay.
For my son Yahawashi shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years.
Within 400 years. Now, we have to, I don't want to go too deep. If you look at estimates of when the second temple was built, but it's right around the 400 years from around before Christ was.
From the time the decree went forth.
Exactly. So we see this is actually a really good estimate from the prophet Ezra to when Yahawashi actually came on the scene, because I believe it's like in 426 or something like that, we went back into the land. So around 400 years later, Christ was on the scene. Right? This is actually a pinpoint, like it's scary. Like if you look at, so a lot of times what I'll do is when I'm looking at historical stuff within the Bible, I'll look at when, their estimates of things happen, and I believe they say it's between 453 BCE to 420 something BCE is when they estimated they went back into the land to start building the second temple. So we see that this is actually a crazy accurate estimation in prophecy, right? Go on.
It says too, this is the Most High words, his prophecy. This is put out there and established before it has been documented historical facts.
Khan.
So you could put your last penny, your last dollar on the word of the Most High.
And that's crazy. And it's crazy to me because Ezra is 400 some years before Christ.
That's right.
and he put his name. He put his name in it, So we see it, the not just him this is again him coming into the land. Right? Go on. Continue reading.
Start again in verse 28 of 2nd Ezra out of the book of Apocrypha, chapter 7, verse 28. For my son Yahawashi shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years.
So Salakia, it says, and notice it says, for my son Yahawashi shall be revealed to those that be with him. Now, one of the big issues in the so-called New Testament, when Christ was on the scene, they kept asking him, are you Messiah? Are you Messiah? Are you Messiah? Matter of fact, let's go to that. Hold that right there. Let's go to John chapter 1, verse 43.
John 1:44.
Because it was a question of the time, right? Are you the Son of God? Are you Messiah? And notice it in 2nd Ezra, it doesn't say that he's going to be revealed to everybody. It says he's going to be revealed to those that be with him. So his followers, his disciples are going to know that this is the Messiah, right? But let's get John chapter 1, verse 43.
43 or 44?
43.
We're in the book of John, chapter 1, verse 43. The day following Yahawashi will go forth into Galilee, and findeth Philip, and said unto him, follow me.
So Yahawashi found Philip, and he told him, follow me. Go on.
Now Philip was of Bethsaida, the city of Andrew and Peter. Philip findeth Nathanael, and said unto him, we have found him, whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, Yahawashi of Nazareth, the son of Joseph.
So Philip, notice this. Let's slow this down. Philip found Nathanael and told Nathanael, we have found him, of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write. So we see that from way back then, they were anticipating Messiah coming, Hamashiach coming. Because he found them and he went and told somebody. So why would he tell Nathan? Because Nathan was probably looking for Hamashiach to come at that time too. So he told them, go on. Verse 46.
And Nathanael said unto him, can there any good thing?
Go back to 45.
45. Read
Yeah.
45 again.
And read the last part of 45.
Philip finding Nathanael, verse 45, said unto him, we have found him of whom Moses in the law and the prophets did write, Yahawashi of Nazareth, the son of Joseph.
The son of who?
The
son of Joseph.
The son.
No. The son of the Holy Spirit, of the unseen spiritual realm.
The son of Joseph. Notice that too. And that's beautiful that Ben said that, right? Because, as I said, they were expecting somebody to come. And what he said, the son of Joseph. He was not expecting the son of the spiritual realm. He expected him to have a father. Right? Let's go.
And Nathanael said unto him, can there any good thing come out of Nazareth?
So he said, can any good thing come out of Nazareth? Nazareth?
Right, so you think tell me God came out of Nazareth?
Yeah.
I thought the Most High was in his spiritual
Realm, exactly. Come on. Go on.
Philip said unto him, come and see.
He said, come and see. Go on.
Yahawashi saw Nathanael coming to him and said unto him, behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom no guile.
So I'm going to come back to this, why he said that. But we're going to come back to this verse. But let's continue. Verse 48.
Nathanael said unto him, whence knowest thou me? Yahawashi answered and said unto him, before that Philip called thee, when thou wast under the fig tree, Amashik Yahawashi saw thee.
So Nathanael, Yahawashi said, of Israelite indeed, behold an Israelite indeed, in whom there is no guile. Nathanael said, how you know me? Right? Basically, he's asking, wait, how you know me, right? And if you saw me, and Yahawashi said, yes, I saw you when you was under the fig tree. I saw you, right? So Yahawashi saw him coming from far away, and he knew this guy's going to be one of my followers, right? Let's go. Verse 49.
Nathanael answered and said unto him, Rabbi, thou art the Son of the Most High. Thou art the King of Israel.
So Nathanael said, you are the Son of the Most High. You are the King of Israel. Go on.
No, you God.
He didn't say exactly. You see that?
You're the Most High.
And this is the thing that you know, these people are devout Jews, right? I'll say it like that. Devout. They study the scriptures. They were expecting Hamashiach to come. They were not expecting God in the flesh. You understand? They were not expecting, you know what an avatar is? That's like, they was not expecting God to take on a human flesh like an avatar. And you understand? They was expecting the Messiah to come. And what did he address him as? The Son of God. Not God in the flesh. The Son of God. The King of Israel. This is Nathanael witnessing to Yahawashi, like, I accept you as Messiah, right? Go on.
Can I say, just like all of us are sons of the Most High, but he
Is the Son of the Most
the
High.
number one Son of the Most High.
As in Psalms chapter 2.
Right.
I'm sorry? Exactly. Haban. Exactly. The Son. Right? Let's read verse 50.
Yahawashi answered and said unto him, behold, I Yahawashi
Because he said, because.
No, you read it again.
Go ahead, read it again.
Yahawashi answered and said unto him, because I say unto thee, I saw thee under the fig tree. Believest thou? Thou shalt see greater things than these.
So he said, Yahawashi said, so you call me the king, the Son of God, because I said I seen you under the fig tree? It says, and you believe, that makes you believe? It says, thou shalt see greater things than these. So because, and that's why we go back to that verse 47. Yahawashi saw Nathanael coming to him and said of him, behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile. What Yahawashi is saying, this man has faith. Nathanael has faith That's what Yahawashi is saying to him. An Israelite indeed has faith. That's what, you go back to the example with Abraham, leave your father's house and I'll make of you a great nation. Abraham had faith and he did it, right? And this is what Yahawashi is saying. You got that faith already. Before he even spoke to Nathaniel, he knew Nathaniel had faith. And that's why he asked him, so you calling me the king of Israel because I said I seen you under a tree? You're going to see greater things than these, right? Because you have faith. Let's go for 51.
And he said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto you, hereafter ye shall see heaven open, and the angels of the Most High ascending and descending upon the Son of Man.
So, I believe Ash taught a class about this a while ago. That ladder that Jacob saw when he was resting on the rock, and he called that was Yahawashi. Yahawashi is basically telling Nathaniel, that's him. Angels are going to be coming up and down in his name, basically. They're going to be preaching him, right? So we see, go ahead.
Yeah, really quick. And when you go out to 47, notice Yahawashi said, behold, an Israelite indeed. He didn't say a
Christian indeed,
he didn't
exactly.
say Egyptian. He didn't say African. He didn't say a
Muslim, exactly. He said an Israelite
and his heritage.
indeed.
An Israelite indeed. That's
Yep.
our name, our heritage, and our nationality.
That's right,
That's
exactly.
what people have to get in their thick skulls.
And how because you Jake, but be the part, that faith, play that part. You got to have that faith to be an Israelite indeed, right? Because Most High said he's going to make us as in numbers as the sand on the sea, right? But a remnant he's coming for. And what? By their faith and their works, right? You got to have that faith. And Nathan had that faith immediately, as soon as he saw him. I'm like, we read this, right? And we just skim through it. We don't see the significance in it. Why Philip ran and went and tell Nathaniel? Because Nathaniel was probably looking for him too. Mm-hmm. You understand? Like that just goes to show people were expecting Hamashiach while they were in the land. They were expecting him to come, right? So
and because they were searching the scriptures.
And they reading the prophecies. They reading the prophecies.
And they're like, he gotta come around
this time. Oh, right, exactly.
They knew he had to come around the time of the Roman Empire.
And we see in Acts, he says, the Bereans, that they search the scriptures to see if the things that are true, mm-hmm. right? So we see that, look, the world like to paint black people as all kinds of bad colors. We lazy, we good for nothing, we don't. Nah, this show that we, the Israelites, were diligent, studious. When we're looking for something, and it wasn't just him, because I believe it's Martha later on, I'm not sure exactly which book, when he says, thou art Messiah. So even the sisters were looking forward to Messiah coming. Right. You understand? Like, when we had ourselves together, we the fruits of the earth. You understand? Like, we're the best people.
And even the Pharisees and Sadducees knew that too.
They
was looking and waiting to, but they tried to suppress it.
Exactly. and in fact, we're going to go to one of those scriptures, right? So we see that Christ had to be born in the land, and he had to die before we leave the land, right? And as we see that in Daniel chapter 9, verse 25. You got something?
I'm gonna say pertaining to that. You see how, like, say, when he walked earth, and they seen all the things he did, this, that, and the third. So when you said, when I finished reading about Nathaniel, mm-hmm. you said he saw him, and you said because his faith, mm-hmm. because he heard about all the things he did, right? And he said that a lot of other people were also looking for him to come. And then when he said that, they were saying that at some point they were saying, Master, why can't it happen now? That wasn't the time.
Exactly.
But that said, with that scripture I read, and I think it was about the 400 years, that he's coming back again. This is the time.
And that this is the so for my class, the way I structured it is 3 ways. We had to believe on Christ. We had to acknowledge that he did come when we was in the land. And now for the next part, him coming back, right? All of these are important things. We have to believe on all of them. We have to believe that what Christ says, we have to submit to. We have to believe that Christ came in the land. And just a side note, in case people don't know, if you ask a so-called Jewish person, do they believe that who the world called Jesus existed? All of them will tell you, yes, he did exist. They absolutely believe he existed. Pardon my French, only a nigger would tell you that who the world called Christ did not exist. In fact, the Jews have to believe that that man existed. You know why? Because it is in their Talmud that he existed. They just don't accept him as being Messiah. You understand? Only a nigger is going to tell you Christ is made up. He never existed. No, he existed, and we have proof that he existed. Who? The same people that hate him wrote about him. And they got all kinds of, maybe next time we'll go into some of the stuff that they wrote about him, but they got a lot of distasteful things to say about him. But you know what they don't do? They don't deny that he existed. They don't deny that he existed. They just say he's not their Messiah, right? So everybody is messianic. Don't let nobody ever tell you, I'm not messianic. You believe in a Messiah. Your issue is you don't believe Yahawashi was the Messiah. But now you got to rationalize these scriptures. How is Messiah supposed to come in the land if we're not in the land? If you're an Israelite, how is Messiah supposed to come in the land if we're not in the land? That means you already missed the boat on the Messiah. You need to get right. You need to accept that who the world called Christ is the Messiah, right? Now let's deal with his return. Let's go to Acts chapter 1 and verse 9.
Now the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 9. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight.
So we see the clouds taking up Yahawashi into the heavens. Go on.
And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel.
So the 2 angels on the cloud. Go ahead.
Which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahawashi, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall come in like manner. Shall so come in like manner, as ye have seen him go up in heaven.
So we see Yahawashi ascending into heaven. The angel saying the same, let me read it. This, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahawashi. The words mean something. This is over 2,000 years ago. This same Yahawashi, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner. The same way he left, this same man is coming back. The same way he left. On a cloud going up into heaven, he's coming down in the clouds.
In his full glory.
In the full glory, right? So, let's get it. Malachi chapter 3. Let's show prophetically him going up. Because I didn't even touch real.
Go back to Ezra.
Oh, Khan, Salakia. Let's go back to Ezra 7:20. We're at 30. 29. Sorry,
29?
28. Go back to 28.
28, oh yeah. Now the book of Ezra, chapter 7, verse 28. For my son Yahawashi shall be revealed with those that be with him,
So he's going to reveal himself to his followers. Go on.
and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years.
So 400 years, about 400 years after Ezra's vision, Yahawashi was on the scene. Go on.
And these years shall my son Amashiach die.
Nope. Read it again. 29.
After these years shall my son Amashiach Yahawashi die.
See, it's prophesied Christ will come, reveal himself to his followers, and he's going to die. This is in the scriptures. Go on.
And all men that have life and the world shall be turned into the old silence.
So what this is talking about when it says, after these years shall my son Mashiach die, and all men that have life. What this is talking about is, it's not talking about everybody's going to die, right? What it's talking about is the real way is going to fall off. Paul spoke about this. For the days shall not come lest there be a falling away first. Right? All men that have life. The scriptures say, I believe in Deuteronomy it says, see, I give you life and death. Right? Life signifies keeping of the commandments. All men, Christ is going to die, and all men that have life. There's going to be a falling away from keeping of God's commandments. This is what it's talking about. People are going to forsake the ways of the Most High. So all men that have life is going to die. That's what it's talking about. Not everybody alive is going to die.
Right. The true ways of the Father
Is gonna
be upheld.
Exactly. And because
Perverted white
supremacy, exactly, Khan. And then the next verse it explains it. Verse 30, read it again.
Yeah, verse 30 says, and the world shall be turned into the old silence 7 days.
And 7 days again is prophetic speech for a period of time. And that old silence, the word of the Most High is not coming out again. That's what it's talking about. It's going to come back to that old silence again. Nobody's preaching the word, the real word of God, the way that it's supposed to be taught, right? That silence again, just like in Malachi. And that's also, again, another way of the silence. From Malachi to Matthew, there was no prophets. You see in I believe it's first Ezra, when they took the temple again from the Greeks, and the altar was profaned. They said that they didn't have a Levite. They didn't have to basically sanctify the temple. So nobody was getting the word of God on how to clean the temple again. That silence again, right? The Most High bringing back a silence again. No prophets around on the scene. And Salakia, they mention it in Maccabees that they didn't have no prophet for them to clean the altar, right? So that showing that silence again, you know, on the Most High giving them the way on how to clean this altar again so that we could sacrifice again on it, right? So let's continue. It says, and the old silence.
Like as in the former judgments, so shall no man, so that no man shall remain.
And nobody's going to be able to teach the word of the Most High. Verse 31.
And after 7 days, the world that yet awaketh not shall be raised up.
And again, 7 days doesn't literally mean 7 days. It's talking about a fulfillment of a period of time. 7 days is signify completion, like when that time is complete. It says the world, let's read it again. And after 7 days, the world, which is Israel, we know this, right? The world represents Israel. The world that awaketh not, because we're asleep, shall be raised up, right? After 7 days, after this period of time, we're going to be raised up. Go on.
And that shall be raised up, and that shall die, that is corrupt.
And we're going to get rid of corruption. We see Paul again speak on this. How can corruption take on incorruption, right? We're going to be changed. We're going to literally not be able to sin, right? That corruption is going to die. So we see Christ born in the land, dying in the land, right? A great silence come. And that, on a side note too, man, when you see it like this, right? And it explains it, and that silence come. And now in this latter time, you wake up. Let's say you're an Old Testament only, OT only, you don't believe in the Mashiach. How are you going to accept that? How are you going to rationalize that? Because you woke up in this time when the Most High said he's going to start raising people up. So if you're waking up in this time, you got to acknowledge that maybe Mashiach really did come. Because it's been how long? No one disputes when we got exiled out of the land. OT only Israelites will tell you themselves 70 AD we left the land. This lines up with what Ezra says, the great silence. Right? Now in these latter times we're waking up to our heritage. Line up with what the scriptures say. So we have to understand that Christ, born in the land, died in the land. We got kicked out just like the scriptures say. Right? Prophecy. Then that's the importance of prophecy, right? It's the importance of prophecy. Christ says in one of my favorite things. Let me see. Let me get it real quick. One second, I just got to look it up. John 10:35 is one of my favorite things that Christ says.
In the book of John, chapter 10, verse 35. If he called them gods, unto whom the word of the Most High came, and the scripture cannot be broken.
The scripture, this is Christ, and that's my favorite part of that verse. Yahawashi HaMashiach says, the scripture cannot be broken. That's real. So we see this is important, and Christians got to rationalize that. Like, yes, while he's talking about, if you read up, they're talking about he called himself the Son of God. And he says, isn't it written in your law that you're gods? And the scripture cannot be broken. Christians have to rationalize that, right? When talking about everything else in the scriptures can't be broken. This is who you claim to believe in, his words. The scriptures can't be broken. So when we say salvation is for Israel, the scriptures cannot be broken. When we say the grafting in belongs to Israel, the scriptures cannot be broken. When we say Christ is coming back, let me get that. Let me not jump the gun. Let's get Isaiah 66. Right? The scriptures cannot be broken. Christ says it. Christ believed these things. Who you claim to believe in, he believed all things written. He believed all of it. And he says it can't be broken. So this also cannot be broken. 66 verse 15.
In the book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 15. For, behold, the Lord Yahweh will come with fire, and with his chariots.
No, read it again.
That's
Isaiah
not
66?
Yahweh. Yep.
That's not Yahweh.
Okay, pardon, okay.
That's Yahweh.
Hawashah. Yep.
Yeah.
As the Most High mentioned in Exodus, he can't come in the world. He can't. His presence is too big for the world. The world, the world will shake, right? So the Most High himself is not gonna literally come into the world. You know, even when he says his spirit is in the temple, you know, it's a part of him in the temple, not him in the temple, right? When he said he's amongst us, his spirit is flowing amongst us, not physically him. You understand? So when it says the Lord coming, this is talking about Yahawashi coming.
But he's using that grand title because he's coming
In the name of the Most High.
Most High. Everything that the Most High represent and stand for, he is bringing all of that in that one package of himself.
Go ahead. Bring it back from the top, 15.
For behold, the Lord Most High.
The Lord, just say the Lord.
Okay. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire.
And see, Christ is doing this on behalf of the Most High, right? When Christ says, I and the Father are one, this is what he's talking about. Because it's not Christ's anger, it's Christ's anger because him and the Most High is one. You understand that? Christ is mad because the Most High's anger. If you read Isaiah, I believe it's 53, when he's talking about Edom, he's talking about his indignation with them, the Most High's anger with them. So Christ is going to be the vessel for the Most High's anger.
So again, the saying, so if he angry, he gonna be angry.
Yeah, Christ and his Father is one. My daddy mad, I'm mad.
Yeah, we do the Most High will. Yeah.
Exactly.
What the Most High hate, I hate. What the Most High love, I love.
And that Psalms 40:7, it literally says that I come in the volume of the book, for it is written of me, I delight to do thy will. So Yahawashi is ready to do the Most High's will. That's the Most High want, the Most High want. Yahawashi is ready to do it, right?
Even when he was going to die, he said, not
my will, but your will. Yep.
You understand?
That is Luke 19, one of my favorite chapters to ask a Christian about, a Trinitarian about. So if Christ, God, and the Holy Spirit are one and the same, how could Christ have a separate will than the Most High? Christ said, if it be thy will, pass this cup from me. But not because it's my will, but because it's your will.
What you want.
What you want. So it shows that it's possible for Christ to want something and the Most High to want something else. Christ is pleading with the Most High, pass this cup, not because I want it, but because you want it. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was the human part of him.
Exactly.
The physical part was shook.
Of course, absolutely.
The physical part knew it had to be done.
But even in the spirit, you know, and
The part knew it had to be done.
and this is, you know, I've had a discussion with somebody about this before. They said that in that moment, and this is why Christianity is a hell of a drug, because he said in that moment, Christ sinned because he questioned it, because they misquote when Paul says that doubting is sin. And he's saying that Christ, and I'm like, no, that shows Christ was human. Was human. And if I tell you right now, I'm going to shoot you in your head, and I pull a gun out, you're going to be scared. Because that's a human reaction. Christ knew he was going to die, and his human reaction was to be afraid of dying. But even in that moment of fear, he overcame himself to do the will of the Father.
That's why he was praying so heavily.
It said he prayed, sweating, all that, you know, like, because he know the hour is coming where he has to die, you know. And did the Most High respond to him? Most High heard him, but you don't see no answer from the Most High in there. Like, you know what you know what time it is.
Hang up.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what time it is. Gird the loin like a man, you know what I mean? Show thyself a man. Accept this cup that I have to get, that you have to drink from. You know, beautiful too, and I love talking about Christ. And when you think on stuff that Christ says, when Peter said that he didn't want Christ to die, Christ asked him, can you drink from my cup? Like, you don't know. He said, you don't know what you're saying. Right. Can you drink from my cup? Like,
Yeah. He said, you surely gonna drink of it.
Yeah, exactly. You will drink, but not now. This is mine to drink. You know, and when you think about these conversations and little things with Christ, there's a lot of meat behind it. You know, when you reflect, as the scriptures say, meditate on it. Think about these things. These are real human beings having conversations. You know, real human beings having conversations. Christ knew what he had to go through. Peter's love for Christ didn't want Christ to go through what he had to go through. And Yahawashi is like, you can't drink from my cup.
They didn't quite get it yet. They
Yeah.
didn't quite get it yet. They
Yeah,
didn't get the full picture of it
exactly
yet.
what's coming. Like, yeah, you believe on me, but you don't understand what I have to deal with, you know? You guys,
That's what I'm saying. I understand that. You see how, like, when he walked this earth, everything that he taught them, this and third, and like he said, they didn't believe to his entirety about what he was saying. He also said, what's he said? He said, I'm going to be killed among men.
No, they believe, but they didn't get the full
understanding.
Well,
Yeah.
And he said, the third day I will.
Rise
He told
again.
him these
Yeah,
things.
yeah. Exactly. He told them that he's got to be delivered up and killed. They love Christ, you know. We love Christ.
He chose that inner circle. That was his close circle.
Exactly.
And remember, there were students there. They weren't apostles. They were disciples.
And that's what I was talking to somebody recently, just the other day about it, and I'm like, you know, we take words and don't realize what they mean. A disciple of Christ is a student. They were students of Christ. You understand? Like, so they had a master-student relationship. They loved their master, and he's telling them these things. But it's like, you really gonna leave us? Nah, you're not gonna, you know, like, but it had to come, you know? So we see, like, we gotta look at these conversations and look at it from, these are real conversations with real people. It's like, you know, we, House of David, we lost a lot of people recently. So it's like, you don't think they're gonna go, and then they go. But the memories that you have with them still, you know, and, you know, when I was talking, this is coworkers I was telling this to, you know, they was talking about Christmas, you know, and I'm like, what we don't realize is that the Bible, like Matthew and John, were disciples of Christ, literal disciples of Christ. And he meant so much to them that they had to write about him. You understand that? That he meant so much that they had to write about him. Luke and Mark are what you call secondhand, right? Because we see Luke was a physician and he followed with Paul. Mark was a student of Peter. And they got the accounts and they wrote it too, because this means so much. Don't take for granted what we have. Understand that. Don't take for granted what we have. A lot of people died so that we can get this. So that we can get these accounts, right? Like, you know, if you read like early Christian fathers on how the disciples died, a lot of them died gruesome death. We see in the book of Acts, they flayed James, and then they killed Peter. Right here in the book of Acts, they mention it. So people died so that we could get this account, so that when Christ said, you've seen me and you believe on me, there's others who haven't seen me who will believe on me.
John 20:29.
What's that?
John 20, verse 29.
Let's read it. Yep. Right? And it's important that we understand that teaching Christ is very important, right? Because why? Because his followers felt the need to teach Christ, that there's going to come generations who have to know that Hamashiach came. We have to put this in writing. We have to tell them. So when people be like, you know, critics of the Bible be like, well, Matthew's account is different than John's account or Mark's account or Luke's account. Yeah, because they're different people who saw things differently from their perspectives. The story didn't change. The man came, he lived, he died. They're telling their experience and from how they remember it. You understand that? This is important for them to tell. This is very important. You know, because there's this comedian, I follow him on Instagram, but he's like a Bible, he tell Bible little stories and do it in a comedy. And he's like recounting different stories from how they are told basically in the Gospels. And they're like, John, what's that?
Not talking about Eddie Griffith. I was
No,
talking about
not Eddie Griffith.
Go ahead.
Nah, but he's talking about how Matthew and Mark and Luke will tell it like basically the same, and then John is gonna make it more extravagant. I'll say that, right? And what it is like you realize that John says that he was Yahawashi's favorite. So of course he's gonna, you understand? Like we gotta make them human. Realize that this is real people telling their experience, right? So bring out that verse.
Yeah, reading out the book of John, chapter 20, verse 29. Yahawashi said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed.
And that's us. That's us. We have not seen him here, but we believe, right? We believe. When that word came to us, right? We believe. You got some?
I want to read something because it's very important. You said that how they brought out Yahawashi, you know, and how they talked about him.
Mm-hmm.
I want to read a few verses. Acts chapter 4, starting with 10. That be it known unto you all, and to all the people of Israel, that by the name of Hamashiach Yahawashi of Nazareth, whom ye crucified, whom ye raised from the dead, whom the Most High raised from the dead, even by him does this man stand here before you whole. This is the stone which was set at naught of you builders, which has become the head of the corner. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. You see that? And this is after Christ's death, and they're speaking this to brothers, you know, letting them know this is the way. Y'all killed him, you know, but you still have to believe on him. You still have to believe on him, and that's a great sacrifice, right? Yahawashi said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Right? So even in his death, he still wasn't angry with us. Still loving his people, right? So we have to remember Yahawashi's sacrifice, right? So let's I want to go to, we did Isaiah. Go back to Isaiah 66, verse 16.
Isaiah chapter 66, verse 16.
Mm-hmm. And this is just in his return. Go on.
For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And the slain of the Lord shall be many.
And the slain of Yahawashi will be many. Go on.
They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree.
Hold on 1 second. This is a key part, and a lot of people don't realize what he's saying. Them that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree. Now, this is talking about the tree in the garden represents philosophies, doctrines. They're making themselves clean and purifying themselves under a doctrine, right? It says, but let's continue reading this, then I got a question to ask.
behind one tree in the midst, eating swine flesh. And the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord Yahweh.
So,
Nah.
yeah, Khan. So, now the question I have to ask is, it says, they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves. So they're sanctifying themselves, making themselves right, purifying themselves, making themselves clean, but eating swine's flesh. Does that make any sense? Are you making yourself right and clean eating swine? It doesn't. So it says, when it says they're in behind one tree, it's talking about they think they're doing this like with the church, you know, they think that they're making themselves clean, going to church while eating swine's flesh. Go on.
But deep down inside, they know it's not right.
Absolutely.
But that's why I said behind the tree.
Behind the tree. They're hiding under this doctrine and this
They know it's
philosophy.
right.
But they know better. Go ahead.
And then I was going to say after that, like I said, behind the tree, like they hide. They can't hide from him. Am I right?
Fine. Exactly. Where they going to hide? The Most High sees all. Like, he knows what you're doing.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
Khan. And this, so it says that they're going to be consumed together, saith the Lord. So, you know, and this is go back to the significance of prophecy and Yahawashi in prophecy. How you going to make that right? This is prophetic speech of things that hasn't come yet. So how you figure you can eat pork now and then Christ is going to kill people for eating pork, but you're saved? It makes no sense at all, right? Go ahead.
I think the main thing they be saying, it don't matter.
All right, so let's go to another prophecy of Christ when he returns. Malachi chapter 3, verse 1.
The book of Malachi. Chapter 3, so verse 1.
Khan.
The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 1. Behold, I send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me.
Go on.
And the outer one whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, said the Lord of hosts.
All right, so it says, this is past and future in one thing. It says, behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. Same thing again. We've seen Elijah, John the Baptist, preaching before Christ. Same thing, now we are those messengers, preaching Yahawashi before he comes, preparing the way, right? Preparing the bridegroom, preparing the bride, right? To be received of Christ, right? So we're preparing the way. It says, and the Lord, notice this isn't in all caps, right? So this is Adawan. And the Lord whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple, right? Go, even the messenger of the covenant. Yahawashi is the messenger of this new covenant that we're in, that we're going to be in, right? Whom ye delight in, behold, he shall come, saith the Lord of hosts. Verse 2.
But who may abide the day of his coming?
But who is going to be able to withstand the day of his coming? Go on.
And who shall stand when he appeareth?
And who's going to be able to stand up when he comes? Go on.
For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap.
He's like a refiner's fire. He's going to make people clean by bringing them through the fire. And like a fuller's soap, he's making you clean. Yahawashi is going to make you clean. He's by bringing you through the fire. Right? Go on.
And he shall sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. And he shall purify the sons of Levi.
So this is talking about when the future comes. Yahawashi is going to purify the Levites. Go on.
and purge them as gold and silver,
And he's going to make them clean through the fire like gold and silver. Go on.
that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness.
And go on.
Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Lord Yahweh, as in the days of old.
It says, then, after the Most High is, through Christ has cleaned us up, then the Levites can start offering offers again. And then it's going to be acceptable to the Most High, right? Go on.
And as in former years, and I will come near to you to judgment, and I, the Most High, will be a swift witness against the sorcerers.
And this is key, right? It says, then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Lord, right? So the Most High got to clean us up. Then he's going to start accepting our offerings again, right? But this is a key part, right? Verse 5 again.
It says, and I, the Most High, will come near to you to judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers.
It says, then he's going to come to us to judgment. It says, and he's going to be a swift witness against the sorcerers. What is sorcery? What's that? Witchcraft. But so we think, so what is the sorcery that he's talking about? We think, when we think sorcery, we think like the movies, like people drawing magic circles and all that. No, that's not witchcraft. That's idolatry. That's given power of the Most High to some other means. That's not witchcraft. Witchcraft and sorcery is getting high. That's witchcraft. That's sorcery. You're getting out of your brain. You see, like if you look in the New Testament, if you look up the word sorcery, the word that comes up is pharmakia. That's what sorcery means in the New Testament, right? And when you look into that word pharmakia, it says the administering and use of drugs. Yeah. So when the Most High says that he's going to be a witness against the sorcerers, go ahead.
And the Greek word pharmacia, like you said, is house of magic.
House of magic.
Exactly what it means.
Exactly. So we're thinking, Salakia for cutting you off. What we're thinking when we hear like witchcraft and sorcery, we're thinking about like hocus pocus, but that's not what the Most High is talking about. It's talking about putting yourself in a trance where spirits can enter into you. That's witchcraft and sorcery. And how do they do that? By administering drugs, by getting you so twisted out of your mind, now suggestions easily could come upon you. You know, if you right, if you look at like I don't want to take the conversation left, but like those Diddy parties, you know, all of the people who speak out against them, what they're saying is, like, I'll give you an example. For example, Joe Budden, he has said he went to Diddy parties before. He's like, but certain times at those parties, when they start bringing out the heavy duty drugs, that's when he leaves. And what happens after they do these heavy duty drugs? That's when all the weird freak offs start happening. Why? Because in order for them to start doing these weird sexual deviant acts, they have to get them out of their mind, where these spirits can go in and their inhibitions get lowered, and now they can do all of these things, right? So when the scripture's saying about he's going to be a witness against the sorcerers, this is what it's talking about, against this crazy drug use that's going on. Go on.
And against the adulterers, and against forswearers.
And against and this world is just filled with adultery, filled with drug use, false swearers. Hey, somebody tell me, Salaki, I swear to God, I still don't believe him. Because what God are you talking about? you don't believe in God because you don't do nothing he says. So I can't even take your word for that. Go ahead.
Plus, the easy button on that is the Most High said, let's make your yea,
Yea and your nay, nay. Exactly. Exactly. And all that swearing, why the Most High said that? Because he know y'all swearing ain't going to mean nothing. Y'all going to put it on him and you're lying. You know, go ahead.
You see how in today's world, I know this is part of the point, when we go to the courts, even though we're in the Most High Court right now, what's the first they grab the Bible? You swear to tell the whole truth. No, but they don't go to John
and they're lying. And they're lying. They'll do it right on the stand. Put their hand on the Bible and lie. You know, because it doesn't mean anything to them. On purpose. Knowing they're premeditating lying on the Bible. They know they're going to go up there, swear, and then lie. Right? But go ahead.
And against false swearers and against those who oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right. And
It says,
fear not me.
Salakia, and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages. This place, you know, we ain't even got to go into that. You know, you making never enough. They say you pay taxes, you don't. They take taxes.
Nobody should be making no friggin' minimum wage. What the hell is minimum wage?
Yeah. Like, and to be honest, man, I don't think they could put a value on your time, you know, on your time. Back in the days, farming, having your own crops, you work and you earn your bread, right? Now they put 15 hour now is minimum wage, right?
But the word minimum wage, in the true sense, means you cannot live up to the cost of living.
Yeah, you're not making, and even Esau, man, even Esau, like the area I work in, right, is very rich area. I'll say that, Manhattan, Tribeca, because Tribeca is right next to the financial district. Yeah, so it's like one of the doormen has told me, like the condos start in that building start at $2 million because they're not renting like how we're renting. They're renting for the year and they're paying $2 million, right? And he said that's where they start at in that building. But I will say this, even Esau, to live in his neighborhood, they are 8, 9 of them like roaches in an apartment.
Yeah, of course.
You know? So even Esau can't afford the prices in New York. You know, the difference is he try to make himself look better than he is. Like we'll struggle, but he'll act like he's not struggling, but he's struggling, you know? So the price is never enough. There is way more vacant buildings in Manhattan than there is rented units in Manhattan because the price doesn't make no sense, right? There's not enough people to pay for these places that are vacant because the wages that they want for it is just too high, right? So the wages is never enough. The scriptures say those that oppress the hireling in his wages. Go on.
The stranger from his right, and fear not me, said the Lord of hosts. For I am the Lord Yahweh. I change not. Therefore, these sons of Jacob are not consumed.
So we say that this is, again, when Yahawashi comes back, right? He's going to punish all the world for these kind of things that's going on, right? This is, again, a prophetic vision of when Yahawashi come back, right? So let's go to another, let's go to Micah chapter 5 again. We're going to go back to Micah 5. Because Micah actually shows both sides of Yahawashi coming, before and when he comes again.
Micah 5 and 8.
Now let's start at 3. Let's start at 1. Let's start at 1 and we'll go down.
That book of Micah, King James Version of the Bible, chapter 5, verse 1. Now gather thyself in troops, O daughter of troops.
Mm-hmm.
He hath laid siege against us. They shall smite the judge of Israel with a rod upon the neck.
So the Most High is saying they're going to smite the judge of Israel. Who's the judge of Israel? Yahawashi. This is showing Yahawashi in the land. Go on.
But thou, Bethlehem, Ephratah,
We read this one already. Go ahead.
thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me, that is to be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth have been from of old, from everlasting.
So it says.
Therefore-
So it said we see Christ going forth has been of everlasting. So from forever, Yahawashi been coming and going. Right? You have to understand that Yahawashi, as far as in human flesh, as Yahawashi might be one, but he's been here, coming and going. You understand? Like he's been there. He's always been there, right? So go on.
It says, therefore will he give them up until the time that she which travaileth have brought forth. Then the remnant of his brethren shall return unto the children of Israel.
So it says, so therefore, therefore will Yahweh give them up. So this is again talking about us in the land. The Most High is going to give us up. Go ahead. Y'all wanted to see how y'all wanted y'all way? Go ahead. Let's see the ways of your way. See what happens. He's going to give us up until the time that she which travaileth had brought forth, until Yahawashi come back again. Go on. Then the remnant of his brethren shall return unto the children of Israel. Go ahead.
I have a precept for that.
Go ahead.
In the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord Yahweh shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war.
Mm-hmm.
He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. Verse 14. I have long time holden my peace.
Mm-hmm.
I, the Most High, have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman.
Mm-hmm.
I will destroy it and devour it at once. Pardon me.
No. That's a good precept, right? Because it also goes into when the time comes, the Most High is going to shake up the world, right? But let's go right back to what is that? Micah. Let's go back to Micah 4. I want to read verse 10.
The book of Micah, chapter 4, verse 10. Be in pain and labor to bring forth, O daughter of Zion, like a woman in travail. For now shalt thou go forth out of the city.
So it says, I really, read Micah 4. It really goes into Yahawashi. Literally, his coming into the land, getting kicked out. But it says, for now shalt thou go forth out of the city. That city being Jerusalem. We're going to be expelled out of the city. We're going to leave the land. Go on.
And thou shalt dwell in the field.
And then we're going to dwell in the field. Where is this field? This field, what you would call west coast of Africa, interiors of Africa. Go on.
And thou shalt go even to Babylon.
And then we're going to go even to Babylon. Right? Go on.
There shalt thou be delivered.
And there we shall be delivered. Go on.
There the Lord Yahweh shall redeem thee from the hand of thy enemy.
And who's going to redeem us? Yahawashi, right? Yahawashi is going to redeem us. The Most High send us through these things, and we're going to be redeemed by Christ, right? I got one more, and then we're going to wrap it up. Zechariah 13 and verse 7. This is again going into being Yahawashi being in the land before we left. Right? If you're an Israelite and you don't believe Yahawashi is the Messiah spoken of and prophesied, then you got some explaining to do. How are we going to go back into the land? Then the Messiah is going to be born. Then we're going to get scattered again? Is that what you're saying? Because the Messiah had to be there in the land before. He had to be. Let's get it. Zechariah 13 and 17.
Read the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 7. Awake, O sword, against my shepherd.
Against who?
Against my shepherd.
Against the Most High's shepherd. Go on.
And against the man that is my fellow. Said the Lord Yahweh of hosts. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. And I, the Most High, will turn my hand upon the little one.
So it's saying, smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall scatter. So it's showing that after Christ, we've seen it in Micah also, that he says he'll smite the judge of Israel on the cheek. The Most High also says in Zechariah, smite the shepherd, and the sheep will scatter. So after Christ died, we're going to disperse. Right? All of these things are showing Yahawashi in the land. In the land. In the land. Yahawashi had the Messiah, the Messiah is, had to be there when we were in the land. Don't hate us because you didn't accept it. Because you're waiting for another Messiah to come. You're waiting for us to go back into the land like 1948, like the Khazarians, and then get kicked back out again. No, this not happening. You missed the boat. The Messiah came already, right? So let me get let's go to Romans chapter 10. Now let's do one more prophecy of Yahawashi. Numbers 24 verse 17.
The book of Numbers, chapter 24, verse 17. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter.
There we go again. Remember Genesis 49, that scepter says, and the scepter, go on, a king
shall rise out of Israel.
And a king shall rise out of Israel. Go on.
And shall smite the corners of Moab.
He's going to smite the what you call the Bedouins, those people that's in the land that's eating mud cakes, right? The caravan traders over there right now. Go on.
But when you see that, right, that means that Moab has to be still
in the land.
How are they going to be over in
China? Exactly. They still have to be in the land.
Be in the land.
All
right. And go ahead.
And destroy all the children of Seth.
Who's the children of Seth?
The children of Seth is, Seth is, go ahead.
The children of that came out from Shem.
From Shem, exactly. The lineage of Shem, exactly. Go on.
And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies. And Israel shall do valiantly.
So we're going to get possession of Edom, right? It says, Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies. Because remember, the scriptures say that we're going to sell them to the Sabians, to the Arabs, right? The Sabians are the Arabs, right? We're going to sell, the irony is, if you remember in Genesis, we was trying to sell our brother to the Ishmaelites. We're going to do the same thing now to Esau. He's going to be sold to them too, right? So he says it's going to be a possession to their enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Go on.
It says, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city.
And you see that? It says he's going to destroy him that remain in the city. So when Christ come, he's going to destroy whoever's in Israel, in Jerusalem. Hey, that means whoever's in Israel right now can't be Israel, because Christ is going to destroy whoever's in the city.
And who's going to be there?
Right? Amalek, right? Read the next verse.
And when he looked on Amalek,
Who? Go ahead.
he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nation.
Was the first one to come out and meet us when we became a nation, when the Most High took a nation out of a nation. They was the first one to come and meet us. Go on.
But his latter end shall be that he perish forever.
That's right. Right? So we see who Yahawashi is going to deal with when he come back. Who's in the land? Who's going to get destroyed in the city when he looked on Amalek, right? And he'll perish forever, right? So the whole point of this class can be summed up in these two verses. Let's get Romans chapter 10, verse 9.
In the book of Romans, chapter 10, verse 9. That if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the outer one of Mashiach Yahawashi, and shalt believe in thine heart that the Most High Power have raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved.
So we have to confess Yahawashi. We have to believe that the Most High raised him from the dead.
I thought Yahawashi was the Most High.
he raised himself from the dead.
That's some cool stuff. He raised himself up.
He's dead. How he raised himself up? Right?
So God died, and then he had to be raised up.
God can die. So who was if Yahawashi is God, when he was dead for 3 days, God was dead for 3 days.
3 whole days.
3 whole days God was dead. That
What
is
happened to the
The
earth?
Most High said he faints not.
God.
What happened to the earth?
Right? Exactly. Read the next verse.
Verse 10. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness.
So with your mind you believe unto righteousness. Go on.
And with the mouth confession is made unto salvation.
But you have to accept him in order to get the salvation. Go on. Next verse.
For the scripture said, whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed.
And whosoever believeth on Yahawashi shall not be ashamed. That's why what you call Messianic Israelites, this doctrine is unbeatable. It's 1,000,000. Why is that? Because it's the truth, right? You got to have Christ. If you don't got, I hear Zabak always say, if you don't got Christ, you ain't that deep. You think you would understand the scriptures? You don't, right? You got to have Yahawashi. You got to believe in him. You got to confess him in order to be saved. With that, I'm going to say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you for your time.
That was definitely. Thank you for that. Whoa.
All praises.
What's the title of your class again?
Importance of Yahawashi in prophecy.
Wow. One of the Yahawashi prophecy.
Yeah, you